What's going on, everybody? Doc from Average Gamer Guys, back yet again, this time bringing you Mission 12, Last Stand on our Legendary walkthrough. This mission, I'm going to be up front, not too bad, honestly. A little bit different from my playthrough on Easy. And I'll show you the 2 points where I had the most trouble with. The rest of this mission, if you've run through it before, pretty standard defense. The biggest thing I can say, leader powers, leader powers, leader powers, use yours as much as possible. You're going to lose units on Legendary, it's just going to happen, but honestly, the defense for the most part, there weren't many instances where I was pretty worried. So we're going to jump into this. A lot of it's going to be kind of at a 2 times speed, because there's not a whole lot that I need to show you. The biggest thing here, initial setup, I wish they give you maybe an extra 30 seconds to a minute to get this going, but you see me use the ODST drop right there. Since you don't have a population cap, just spam it. Get a unit garrisoned and everything, get all of your turrets up and built. You don't have to worry about resources or energy or anything like that, which is really nice. And honestly, they do a good job of dropping you the units that you need. And here's where I have a little bit of problem. So I was moving pretty quick, and this is the only thing that's a little frustrating with this mission, just right up front, is they definitely don't give you the time to get set up. Even if I had an extra minute or so, I think I would have been able to. For these turrets, a lot of them, I'm just making them anti-vehicle, especially these 2 points here I'm making anti-vehicle. The other 2 points I would actually go ahead and make anti-infantry, which was what was giving me the most problem throughout the course of this mission. And I really thought these 2 front points right here, with a lot of vehicle traffic, a lot of stuff flowing, the scarabs end up spawning here, and that's the area that they would fight. They end up fighting into. I thought that was going to be my biggest problems. Actually, it was these front 2 points, this one and the one to the left of it, that actually gave me the most trouble, because they see just a huge flow of enemies, just a lot of infantry, and then also quite a few vehicles. And I don't know if that was so much different, because on my easy playthrough, I was able to knock out the brute warlords, those leaders that they have you try to attack. I didn't do that on this one. I don't think it's necessary, but maybe that contributed to me having more enemies flow in. I'm really not too sure. I didn't want to extend. I think if you would have tried to go in and take out the warlords, you would have lost too much as far as units, and then really been kind of hurting to try to make this defense, because there are points where some enemies will get through. I noticed this is a lot like the Hold the Line mission, in the fact that the units will just kind of drive past you to get to the shield, and try to do the damage. But again, if you're just smart with your leader powers, I was spamming a lot of turrets and a lot of ODSTs on these 2 sides right here in the front. But besides that, not many other things I would do differently. Spread your units out. Make sure the Grizzlies are probably the one thing that I would place specifically. Make sure they're up at those top 2 points. Besides that, just get your Wolverines. Keep your Wolverines really close in a circle right around the actual shield, because a lot of the Banshee units will actually fly straight in and completely disregard everything else that you got going on. So having those Wolverines in there, and I ended up pulling in a Spartan. I think I pulled Jerome in to assist with that, but you're going to see me spam a lot of leader powers. Typically what I like to try to do is do restoration on one side and then archer missiles on the other, because I think honestly those kind of even out. You're kind of taking out units, which is going to keep your units, keep you more units, and then using restoration obviously just keeps you healed up. But again, here I do a lot of shifting of units to this point specifically for whatever reason. I think it's just the flow. You get a good diversity of enemy units coming through there, air units, vehicles, infantry, all that different kind of stuff. But again, the Grizzlies right here, I am going to move to these top 2 points. I actually think I put one down there. That was probably the one thing I would change, is just to move both Grizzlies up to the top, where they will end up facing the Scarabs, just for the sole fact of how much health they have, and their extra Y ability is pretty nice. I don't do as good of a job here, again, using the Lotus Mines as much as I could, but I do try to drop them in as often as possible. Again, knowing what I know now, if I was to completely redo this mission, I would drop them right in front of those two light bridges that we saw in Mission 11 that kind of lead over here. And that would be the kind of setup. I do like to keep air units. I try to spread, again, the Nightingales out to each point. I like to keep air units over these 2 points as well, just because, again, you see a lot of the flow from here coming this way. The other thing that I didn't do and I needed to do more often would have been to use the close air support. Now obviously you want to make sure you're timing it right so that you'll have the close air support when the first Scarab comes in, because that Scarab will actually focus on those units, which are temporary to you anyway, so it doesn't matter. But two, it does a great amount of damage. Here's one of the Warlords, just to give you a peek at it real quick. There's quite a bit of stuff over there, so if you could get a unit over there really early and use a close air support, it might be worth trying it. But besides that, I would pretty much just primarily stay away from those. Again, the legendary playthroughs are not the ones, in my opinion, that you want to be trying to do all the bonus and optional objectives on anyways. But I know there are people that are out there that would want to, so I could see it potentially being feasible, because really the bonus and optional objectives for this map are really not too bad. It's really just killing those Warlords and then killing them obviously in the 10 minutes. That's just kind of a short turnaround. Here we get the Wolverines. We're going to place those. Kodiaks, we're actually going to set up in between the 2 points, lock them down, and that's probably actually one of the better units with that was the most helpful, to be honest, throughout the course of this. Here I did kind of screw up a little bit. Again, I didn't have close air support quite ready enough, so I used the turret as a distraction. The turret's a great distraction. It's a temporary unit anyways, and it bought me just enough time to be able to get close air support. Obviously, you get the Condor gunship, which this thing is amazing. The AI will naturally put it right there, and in all honesty, just leave it right there. I move it around just a little bit, sometimes just a little bit on accident, because I try to do an area unit select. But to be really honest, I would just leave it in its position, leave it where it is, and just let it kind of just run its course and do its thing. And it's in a great position where it sits. So again, we're just kind of setting up the defense. Just spread your stuff out, find out where you have weak spots, and don't be afraid. Again, use all those leader powers. Spam, heal your stuff, use your archer missiles, use your Lotus Mines, use everything that you have. I do end up taking some shield damage. It's honestly just from the air units. And it sucks because I don't ever lose a Wolverine throughout this whole thing. It's just the Banshees, for whatever reason, feel like they have a ton of health here. And this point right here specifically gave me the most trouble. I don't know why. I would probably bolster it a little bit better than I did. I think I ended up putting a Vulture over there, and that's kind of what stabilizes it for me. And yeah, I mean that's kind of why I'm just rolling through this one. I didn't want this video to take a whole lot of time, because really the defense for this, it's not terrible. The blisterbacks can cause a little bit of havoc, but again, I took the 2 Vultures and put those at my 2 trouble spots, and they seem to do quite fine. We're just kind of knocking everything out. And the Vultures, again, I'm a big fan of them, especially from the last mission. I wish they gave me more Hornets in this mission, but they don't, so that is okay. But really, again, just the defense setup, just having everything spread, and when you get the chances, obviously, like here, use your archer missiles to good effect. They almost took out both those Wraiths, so I was pretty happy with that. Here, the Condor is just going to absolutely do work, but I do like to pair it up with the Grizzly and a few other units, because, as you can see, you get a lot of Wraith push from there. So, and just kind of continue to play the defense piece. And again, I do like to call ODSTs in, primarily just when I'm facing an area that has a little bit of a weak spot almost also as a distraction to keep some other stuff a little bit more healthy. When you start to see the 3 scarabs spawn in, that's when you know you're really close. Again, hopefully at this point, I'm just prepping. I'm just prepping the assault right there. I'm going to use that leader power. I was hoping I had a turret left. I did not. But this part, 2 minutes, you shouldn't have any problem at all. Just kind of holding out until this part happens. I think at the very, 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 very end, I think I end up losing my Condor because the Scarab does get a shot in on that. But really, you probably could. No, I was going to say you might be able to kind of shift some more units over here. But the other points are still being attacked. So just having a good spread defense honestly is the way to go. In 2 minutes, you don't even have to kill them. I think I get 2 of the 3, which is pretty close, or get real close to killing 2. And that really finishes this one out. So a quick guide. I know I fast forwarded through a lot. So if you need to see more specific setup, you can kind of just pause periodically. But again, the 2 kind of left and right hand closest to the spawn in for the units, those were the points that gave me the most trouble. Not a terrible score, actually very close to gold. I think if I would have been able to go and knock the warlords out, and for whatever reason I didn't upgrade all of the turrets, I thought I did, I must have missed one. We get exceptionally close to the gold medal here, so I do think it's definitely possible to knock that on this one. I'm going to be honest, I'm super happy, super excited that this is all over. And Legendary is out of the way. The nice thing is if you do complete it all the way through and you didn't play it on Heroic, you're going to get credit for both Legendary and Heroic, which is really nice. So that's just kind of an added bonus for you, those of you out there trying to achievement hunt like me. And the other nice thing for me and Sloth, now that we've both completed this, it kind of frees us up to do some of the other multiplayer stuff that we've been wanting to do. So stay tuned for all that. If you aren't already, please do subscribe. Throw a comment down below. Let me know how you've been liking the guides. Really good feedback, so I appreciate all of the support. Getting some comments on the videos, as well as Xbox messages and stuff like that. And hopefully, again, now that this is done, some of you asked, maybe jump in a game with me or Sloth from time to time. Now that we've got this kind of knocked out, hopefully we'll be able to do that a little bit more. And we look forward to it. So thank you guys so very much for watching. I've been Doc with Average Gamer Guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and we will check you next time. Thanks for watching.